Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome to F1 the movie inside F125. Yes, today EA have finally released kind of this, I think it's meant to be like breaking point, but obviously tied in with the F1 movie that released last week. Now, of course, if you're new around here and you want all of the latest F125 news and content, then first of all, please do make sure you hit that sub button. We are trying to hit 150,000 subs on the channel right now, but let's just get the kind of elephant out of the room. I haven't watched the F1 movie yet. This is going to be my first experience of it, so I guess I'm kind of watching F1 the movie inside F125. I believe we've got a 6-chapter story mode inside the game. I'm looking forward to it. As you can see, we've got a preview, and then, yeah, 6 normal chapters as well. So, as always, timestamps will be linked down in the description below if you just want to head to a certain part of the video. But I'm looking forward to this. So, at the request of his old friend and teammate, Ruben Cervantes, former F1 driver Sonny Hayes arrives for Apex GP's circuit test day, but I'll have to show them that he still has what it takes behind the wheel. Now, obviously, as always, we're going to do all of these on the expert difficulty. No assists, obviously expert difficulty, everything like that. Fairly kind of normal stuff that we do inside F125, but yeah, I've kind of got no idea as to what to expect, but I guess this is kind of going to explain to me the storyline as well. So there will be spoilers throughout this video. That kind of goes without saying, but hopefully this is quite good fun. I enjoyed doing all of the breaking point stuff, so hopefully this is entertaining as well.
New wing, new side pods, any changes to the floor?
Nothing the 8 other drivers wouldn't have figured out.
That's why they call me Lucky Number 9.
Listen, it's been a while since you've driven there, mate, yeah? The balance on these cars are tricky, so be careful turn 1 and 9. Won't want to see you get hurt.
How about we set a reasonable target? Give me the same setup as him. If I can't post a lap time within a second of JP's, then I will promptly see myself out, and you're free to take a shot at Lucky Number 10. 10?
10.
10.
Who's JP?
And be careful on the curb. Default mode, which is 1, 2, back to 3. Differential 1, 2, 4, DRS.
Okay, let's see what you got.
If he raced with Ruben, he raced with Schumacher, with Senna.
Right, Sonny, I'm not saying it's been a while since you've been in an F1 car, but, you know, it's been a while since you've been in an F1 car, so take it easy on this outlap and just get gently acquainted with the car, eh?
There we go, quite funny as well that we get a little bit from Mark Priestley as well inside the game. I'm not too sure what kind of like the greyish hue is. That is not the recording or anything like that, that just seems to be the in-game screen, which is a little bit peculiar, but of course, yeah, this car all modelled inside the game. Immediately, it handles exactly like I would expect any of the other F1 cars to do so inside F125. Of course, for those of you that aren't aware, this car is actually based on a Formula 2 car, the one they use in the movies. Is a Formula 2 car with some modifications by Mercedes as well. So, yeah, obviously inside the game, I don't expect them to build a new handling model or anything like that as well, but obviously, if you didn't watch the breaking point video, I'm probably just going to go through and obviously fly through these. No one really wants to sit and watch me do like 3-4 laps of the Silverstone circuit by myself. But I'm guessing, obviously, we're going to have a lap time target to chase as well, once we've kind of got comfortable with it. But yeah, very, very cool, of course, that we do get some of the real cutscenes from the movie inside the game. Now, you could obviously do this challenge beforehand anyway, inside F125, so I'm sure a lot of you guys will have seen this one already. It's just when we get into everything else that hopefully is going to be interesting. Well, the other thing I hadn't thought of is I hope that I don't get DMCA'd for featuring those clips at the start of the video. Hopefully EA have kind of figured out a system. I mean, you guys will know whether this video gets taken down or not, I guess, as to, or obviously if it's been edited in such a way that none of the clips are actually in the video either. Otherwise, it's a fairly pointless video, I guess. Hopefully, we'll cross that bridge if we get there, but a 1:30.0 first lap, so hopefully we can dip into the 29s.
I like it. Now I want to see if we can get you within a second of Joshua's time, so let's push now.
So there we go. We've got to try and beat a 1:32.2 then. So I've technically already then gone a second quicker than Joshua Pierce has managed here, so I guess that's a good sign. We go purple in through the middle sector as well. I'll be fairly happy if we can try and get a lap time under the 1:30 barrier by the time we get round towards the end of the lap then, but let's just see what this car is capable of. Does feel fairly good. I mean, I'm trying to think, it actually feels a bit like the Aston Martin inside the game. Of course, I use that for driver career mode quite a lot, so it feels quite similar.
You okay?
Yep, all good. Yeah, she's got something.
Yeah, you mean had something.
But definitely snappy in the high-speed corners. Unpredictable in the lows. Had trouble with the rears, turns 14, 16.
And the final turn, maybe?
No, that's on me.
What was his lap time?
He passed his entirely self-imposed test by 0.05 of a second.
Huh. Well, it's start.
Well, a bit of a dramatic conclusion then to our test day here at Silverstone. A nice big write-off of the car as well then. But where is Chapter 1 going to be taking us inside this game? I'm hoping, I think we are heading to like the first race of the season, or maybe pre-season testing, something like that. I'm kind of intrigued to see, obviously, with only being 6 chapters, as to just how everything works out. But as the grid heads into Silverstone, Apex GP hopes a revitalised driver lineup led by newly signed veteran Sonny Hayes will help kickstart their campaign. Again, have we got to select our difficulty on every single one of these? Apparently so. That's not ideal. But there we go. So we are several races into the season. Maybe this is like over a 2-season thing, but we've got the they look like 2023 Alpha Towers, so are we going to be going up against some old cars in this challenge?
What is this guy doing?
This is actually now turning into an advantage for Sonny Hayes.
And he's just made it in time. Watch out for his start.
5 lights ahead of the drivers. It's lights out and away we go. Here comes Sonny Hayes, ladies and gentlemen, using those warm tyres to carve his way through the back of the field.
Okay, that's a great start, Sonny. Let's push.
But there we go then, our first goal of the all-new challenge. Try to beat Lance Stroll, if ever that's a challenge for a Formula 1 driver there. But very, very cool. I've only just noticed that we've actually got the F2 steering wheel as well. Of course, more similar to real life, or some weird hybrid between the F1 and the F2 steering wheel inside the F1 games. And look at that, Logan Sargent back on the grid, Joe Magnussen as well. So we have got the 2024 lineup, but just obviously not the 2023 cars. It was still quite funny as well. Obviously, when I went to Silverstone for the 2023 Grand Prix. Obviously seeing this, well, all going on there, as, gotta remember, not quite on 110 AI, so the AI will blend out the throttle a lot earlier than I was expecting, but gap to Lance Stroll then, only 1.4 seconds here. We might be able to just cheese this a little bit if we can try and get a run past a few more of these guys. Make our way down in through the end of the hangar straight. I mean, on the soft compound tyre, we should have advanced over a few people, but it looks like most have opted. Well, hello, Esteban Ocon. Just trying to turn across me there, so I will return the favour to him. But there is Sir Lance. Already made good progress then on this opening lap, and hopefully we're going to be able to find a way around Hulkenberg as well. It's down the inside will go of Nico at that first corner. We know the AI are normally quite vulnerable in towards turn 2.
Lost some rears, box.
Copy to the plan B, box.
And here comes Sonny Hayes for a fresh set of tyres. He'll be hoping these will help him hold on to his current position of P15.
The front jack has not worked properly.
This is causing absolute pandemonium in the Apex GP pit lane. Whatever could go wrong is going wrong for this team. And coming out of the pits, Hayes just ahead of his teammates as Pierce and Hayes go battling it out here at Silverstone.
Coming for you, old man.
Okay, keep it clean now, Joshua.
Gotta try and catch up with Sonny Hayes then before the end of lap 8. I don't know if we're on an old set of tyres or a brand new set, but either way, our teammate then at least a couple of seconds up the road, as that is a Haas car directly in front of me. Still not sure what this weird kind of colour hint is with the game. Very, very peculiar, but we'll try and make it through the old turn 1 completely flat out. Copse corner. We are on a fresh set of tyres, which I guess is good news as well then. But hopefully we'll get past Kevin Magnussen not too slowly either. As, yeah, I'm really, really intrigued. I'd love to break down into the code of the game to kind of see exactly what car we're dealing with here, as we will blast past Kevin Magnussen then. I'm sure that would have made a good action shot. But already taken one of the 3 seconds we need to at Sonny Hayes here. 10-second gap to the guys in front. That shouldn't be too much of a concern either then, as throwing the car through these final couple of corners. Really trying to get on the loud pedal. We almost did a Sonny Hayes at the final corner there, as we just had a little bit of a slip up. But hopefully we can get in the DRS then of our teammate through the detection point of turn 3. We're going to have to try and go late on the brakes there, as actually struggling with the rotation from the front of the car. Just remember, if you're doing these challenges, a bit like Breaking Point, the default setup it gives you is terrible. So try and move the diff around, obviously move the brake bias way further forward as well then. It's just got to be very, very careful with that, but don't know exactly how close we need to get to the gearbox of our teammate, but hopefully they're going to be able to make a move through there, as Verstappen leading this race up at the front of the order. And we just drain a bit of battery down this next section and maybe get kind of as close as we need to here, as down in towards the old turn 1. See if we can try and get a run then out of the corner. Maybe a brave move up in towards Maggins and Beckett's here. This would certainly require a fair amount of bravery.
This is mad! The cardinal sin of motor racing. A double DNF, just when it couldn't get any worse with a black and gold.
That's a tough one, man.
Well, there we are then. Bitter disappointment. I believe that was the, I want to say, Albon and Magnussen crash from the Grand Prix. Of course, they superimposed the Apex GP cars over some of the real-life instances there. But, yeah, very, very interesting kind of the technology I've heard that they've used inside the movie. I will have to go out and watch it, I think, after this. But anyway, into Chapter 2 then. Monza could provide Apex GP drivers Sonny Hayes and Joshua Pierce with a rare opportunity to surprise the fans and outperform the top teams. But with rain threatening, are they pushing their luck to breaking point?
Pierce looks to be aspiration to finish in the top 10, and maybe even a run to the podium.
But there's still a long way to go in this race, and with rain potentially forecast, anything can happen.
Okay, Sonny, let's just start to put some pressure on those ahead of us.
I still think it's a little bit weird calling someone like Brad Pitt Sonny, or Sonny, as Mark seems to be adamant. It reminds me of the, I think it's the name of the robot, isn't it, in iRobot, which, if any of you get that reference, I'll be very impressed with, but, well, we've gone from a long way back. We've gone from too far back on Bottas. I wasn't concentrating. That's what I expect Brad Pitt to do down in turn 1 there, as I might have been slightly optimistic. I mean, that's the kind of thing that would go down in the movie, though, so I guess we're allowing it to happen inside F1 25 as well there. But, yeah, Gasly not a million miles away up the road, as the car, of course, is always getting a little bit sensitive over the curbs. But clearly these challenges are fairly quick fire as well. A lot of the ones inside braking point, you know, were a good kind of 15-20 minutes long each. I don't know whether some of these will get longer, but these first couple have only been taken kind of 5-10 minutes. Which is pretty quick fire as well then. It's trying to get a run on Daniel Ricciardo, 220 miles an hour. Oh, and again, I've got to remember to change the brake bias. I'm going to keep moaning on about it, but I'm going to have to remember to keep sorting that out so we don't keep locking up in towards the corners. But Gasly, only a couple of seconds up the road then. I'm guessing, of course, as well, I'm completing these challenges in a lot less time than kind of what is required inside the game. So, you know, obviously I play 110. This is my full-time job. I should be quite good at this game as well. But to try and close in then on Pierre Gasly, can we go for a brave move down at turn 1 again? Coming from a long way back, just like we did against Bottas. Oh, hello. There you go. We'll make it round him. Thank you.
Just 7 laps to go, and here comes the rain.
Let's see who plays it safe with a switch to the intermediate tyre and who might gamble to stay out on slicks.
It's getting tricky out here, guys. What's the plan? You're running P4. We think P2 and P3 are switching to winters for safety, and it looks like P1 is staying out. What do you want to do?
What's Sonny gonna do?
Take a wild guess.
I'm staying out.
Copy that.
Okay, Joshua, let's push. You're now P4, P4.
Right, come on then. We've got to try and get past Max Verstappen before the end of this race then. We've only got a handful of laps to go. Was one of the Haas cars there giving me a decent slipstream as well then. But Oscar Piastri definitely does not have the grip on those intermediate tyres as well. Already making good time against him at the final corner, as I believe, yeah. So Sonny Hayes is almost a lap down then in this GP, but we've just got to try and close in on Verstappen, as there is a big gap to Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez just behind me. I'm intrigued though, I haven't know if they got wet weather footage here at Monza, because obviously it hasn't rained for the Grand Prix in a long time now. I'm trying to think back. Might have been since 2008 that we haven't seen rain here, but Oscar Piastri, like a sitting duck out of those first couple of corners. I think Verstappen as well, just trying to navigate some lap traffic.
4 seconds between you.
It's just trying to be really gentle on those brakes once again until I get the bias sorted out. Can we have a look down the inside of Leclerc? Oh, a bit bargy. But we will make it through then. And 4 seconds up to Max. Surely we can get with him inside a couple of laps. I'm surprised actually. Well, just how well these tyres are hanging on at the moment. There is Hulkenberg just absolutely parking it on the exit of the final corner. Looks like our teammate has let Verstappen by. So I've heard there is a little bit of race manipulation from Sonny Hayes on a couple of occasions inside this, inside the movie. So, well, hello. Maybe he's not able to do that here today, but without, any DRS or anything like that, it is going to make life difficult. So we'll get a nice slipstream on our teammate. He's on intermediates then, so clearly hasn't braved it. Well, towards the end of the race is a nice amount of rear locking there at turn 1. We are closing in though on Max Verstappen, a little bit quicker than the ride originally anticipated. So hopefully, again, you've got to get within about half a second for kind of the game to pick up on it here. So hopefully down in towards the next chicane, we're going to be able to try and make a move on the Dutchman, or at least get close enough to trigger.
JP, wait for the straight into turn 1. Be patient.
Straight and turn 1.
Copy. Joshua, Sonny says wait for the straight into turn 1.
I'm right there. I've got him.
Pierce is right on the gearbox of Verstappen down the back straight at over 200 miles an hour.
See an opening. Go for it.
The rookie attacks in 11.
No. Pierce pulls alongside the Red Bull. He's wheels ahead for the first time ever. GP. Oh, no.
That was quite a dramatic conclusion then here at Monza, but I mean, Sonny Hayes warned him, you shouldn't go to the outside, and I mean, that was like, I think it was it Alex Peroni who had that crash at IRL a few years ago, so yeah, absolutely massive error to make right towards the end of the race, and, well, I guess Apex GP, a first win, is going to have to go waiting a little while longer as we head to Zandvoort. Apparently we're heading with Kate's upgraded car, so I've heard they don't do a very good representation of women inside this movie, but I guess we're going backwards in the calendar to Zandvoort because it's always before Monza.
And that's Hayes in the upgraded Apex. Now the team were penalised back to last place after Monza, but here he is coming from the cellar, passing his new teammate Luca Cortez.
Okay, nice move, Sonny. Well done. Now let's make use of that upgrade and push.
There we go then. Apparently, obviously, we've got a new teammate as Pierce there. Clearly, obviously, after that huge crash last weekend, not able to get back behind the wheel of a Formula 1 car just yet. Hopefully, we can try and find a way around. There's also someone has gone for a spin, so could we see a safety car in this race? A few cars. There's like 4 cars stricken around the circuit, so no idea what has been going on there then, but Esteban Ocon up in that final points-paying position right now, so we need to try and get up to him before the end of this GP. Luckily, again, we've got quite a few laps to do it. And first up, we should be able to get a run on Logan Sargent, who I think wanted to move slightly defensive on me. Cortez just behind on the run in towards turn 1. So again, that front locking is so tricky to try and manage. Getting very good at changing my diff settings whilst driving.
Second gap separates you.
So there we go, that is the big goal then. Get up to Esteban Ocon by the end of the race. But of course, we all know at Zandvoort, just how difficult it can be to overtake is getting a nice old slide as we make our way up through towards the top of the circuit. And we have a look to the inside of Yuki Tsunoda. We'll get 2 wheels on the grass. I could have done some of the filming for this. I'm able to get the car in all kinds of great cinematic positions. But Lewis Hamilton there, Lando Norris now just in front of us. So I'm assuming Max Verstappen, it's the Dutch Grand Prix. I assume Verstappen's leading. No, he's actually not. I think it's George Russell. So up at the front of the order then, as the AI definitely seem to be a little bit more competitive here than what we saw at Monza, but still able to take our chances and putting a move then on one of the directors of the movie, Zhou Guanyu, almost up inside the points here. So great scenes from Kick Sauber's obviously former driver.
3 seconds separate you.
I wonder how Bottas and Zhou feel this year now watching Bortoletto and Hulkenberg obviously able to actually score some points in that Sauber car. There must be a little bit of jealousy in that one then, but I can see Esteban Ocon, he's actually moved up to 9th then, ahead now of Fernando Alonso inside this race, so he's actually doing very well, just keeping that gap where he needs it. As can we try and do the old up and under on Zhou Guanyu off the exit of turn 3. We should be able to get the run on him. We're able to use that battery and give him a bit of a squeeze there. And I mean, this new car, absolute rocket ship in a straight line against these guys. Down the inside of Alex Albon as well then. Surely we can try and get past Fernando Alonso here with a brave move to the inside. And there we go, Esteban Ocon.
Round the banking, Hayes has got past Ocon. This is brilliant last lap drama. What a fantastic finish.
But there we go then, happy smiley faces all around from the Dutch Grand Prix, and success for Apex GP with some points on the board as well. Where are we going to be heading for Chapter 4? I reckon that was the shortest one we've had so far. Incredibly quick there, just a couple of laps. As I said, I'm doing all of these on the expert difficulty, but I need to go through and do some fun challenges as well. So, the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez up next then. Joshua Pierce follows the regiment of his teammate Sonny Hayes, whose performance in the upgraded Apex GP car is turning heads in Mexico City.
And they go wheel to wheel. Verstappen and Leclerc. Verstappen will have the inside. Perez goes around the outside. Perez makes contact with Charles Leclerc as Sonny Hayes threads that Apex GP car through the midfield.
Well, I believe that was Hamilton actually going for that overtake there on the Ferrari down at turn 1. So we've got to try and finish P5 or above then, as there seems to again be some lap traffic just up the road here. Don't know how many laps left we've got of this race, but hopefully we can try and make a good impact here and score some big points for the team. We've got 7 laps to go. You know what? I'm looking at that mini-map. Could we get closer to a win than what the game was originally anticipated? Got to try and find a way around some of these backmarker cars, though. First of all, Logan Sargent running very, very slowly, but after a very, very short challenge at Zandvoort, it looks like we're getting quite a long one here in Mexico City. 7 laps remaining of the GP. I wonder if Daniel Ricciardo makes much of a cameo inside the movie as well. That'd be interesting to find out there, as just hopefully going to get a run on him out of the final corner. Hopefully, it was Alonso into the pit lane as well then, so there's not that much of a gap in front from some of those cars. How's tyre wear looking? It should be fine towards the end of the GP, as we will get around Alonso as well. Critical that we get ahead of him and claim track position before we get to turn 1. Quite a few of these guys then having to make a pit stop here, so we've got a little gaggle of cars that we are actually racing with. Esteban Ocon is going to be the first of those who's recently just pitted. Try and maintain the speed. Looks like the AI are a little bit more competitive here in Mexico than what we've seen in the first few races, so it might be a bit of a better challenge. As Verstappen, new fastest lap of the day. Yeah, this was slightly wide there as we try and get around Esti Besti, but like we said, obviously able to carve our way through the midfield. Next up is going to be Sir Lance, and we'll catch him by surprise there down at the final corner. Pierre Gasly, though, no DRS to try and defend himself, so this again to be a fairly simple move as another new fastest lap of the day. To the outside of Pierre Gasly we will go then, and up into 6th. Hulkenberg's right there. Russell's a little way further up the road, but our top 3, yeah, have got a rather decent lead, as Cortez is back in the car as well. So I thought Joshua Pierce was meant to be back this weekend, so not too sure what we make of that one then, but hopefully our teammate with those blue flags, he's going to dive out of the way down to that next corner. Next up, Nico Hulkenberg in the Haas car. This is the one we need to get by for position in this race. So we'll try and have a look potentially around the outside up at the top of the circuit. Nope, not able to find the grip around the outside of the German there. Oh, he tries to throw a bit of a block on us, but we'll carry the speed off the corner. And up into 5th we shall go. What's going on there down at the first couple of corners? I think that might be an Alpine breaking down then in this race. So don't know if that's Gasly or Esteban Ocon then. Don't know if that happens in the movie either, but Esteban Ocon out of this race. We are just trying to close up to George Russell before the end as well, because, you know, P4 would be better than P5 in this one. And what stops me going one better than what they might have done in the movie? Bottas there getting in the way of the man that replaced him down at Mercedes. George Russell there getting really, really held up as we are now throwing the car through this middle sector, trying to get close enough to go for a run on the Mercedes. It looks like at the front of the order, Verstappen just pulling away from Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton, having a bit of a battle. As all we wanted to have a look around the outside of George. It'd be a bit compromising. This would be a good move for the movie. Down the inside of the Forest Sol with all the crowd cheering us on. But 3 laps to go. We've just got to get to the flag. Max Verstappen then making his way through the final few corners here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, and he will claim yet another victory here in Mexico City. But clearly, this Apex GP car getting more and more competitive as the season goes on there. Verstappen, though, will take the win as the confetti flies through the Forest Sol. Hamilton will hang on for P2 just ahead of Lando Norris. But it is another best race result for Apex GP, we will hang on for P4. Well, there we go then. Quite an interesting little F1 inside the game cutscene there. Not too sure what to make of that one. But 2 chapters to go then. That was easily the longest challenge we've had so far. They've also decided to release this right we're in the middle of the heat wave here in the UK. So I am very, very warm at the moment. But chapter 5 then. Joshua Pearce takes the grid with rival teammate Sonny Hayes firmly in his sights. As the lights go out at Spa-Francorchamps, just how far will Joshua go to try and settle the score?
Top speed, Sonny Hayes ahead of Joshua Pearce. He's showing no ill effects from that time off after the crash. The car's working beautifully. They're working as a team, but hang on. Pearce right on his tail, using the slipstream. Is he about to try and overtake? Into the chicane we go, and they touch wheels. This is disaster for Apex. As out goes Sonny Hayes, and into the gravel.
What is happening with this team? Their first race back together, and they've run into each other.
Right, we've got a penalty for that run-in with Sonny. Come in and serve it now, please.
Well, there we are then. A little bit of drama here at Belgium, similar to what we saw between Hamilton and Rosberg all those years ago, but I'm pretty certain one of those shots was actually from Brands Hatch, if I remember correctly, so not too sure what to make of that one, but yeah, as we try and dance our way down the hill though, we've got to serve this drive-through penalty as soon as we possibly can in this race. So yeah, there we go, confirmation that our teammate is out of it here, and I must admit, I am loving the fact they got Mark Priestley involved there as trying just not to run too out wide over the gravel trap as there you go, official confirmation once again flashing up there about our penalty. As Charles Leclerc leads the way towards the end of lap 1, but we are going to get a run on the Dutchman.
Enter the pits this lap or will be disqualified from the race.
Oh, a huge lock up there down at the final corner, but that probably saves us from being in an awkward spot with Max Verstappen then. It's into the pit lane we will go. Make sure I get the car slowed down there. Almost forgot about that in the end. So yeah, we'll get that drive-through penalty served. What is going to be the objective after that then? Inside this race here. Going to be very, very interesting to try and find out. So hopefully we're not going to come out too far towards the rear of the field either.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
So we've got to try and get back to 6th place before lap 6 then. That is Alex Albon, who, yeah, is about 6 seconds up the road.
DRS enabled.
Right, let's get our head down and let's go for it. First up then on the old hit list is going to be George Russell. Had a fairly quiet 2023 campaign, if I remember correctly, IRL, so I think that's why his positions are a little bit further down the order than we would expect to see from him, but around him we will go there as George Russell clearly trying to put up quite a fight for it. Luckily, of course, we know, obviously, some of these huge flat-out sections. Whoa, that would have made a good shot in the movie as well there. Huge snap of oversteer as we tried to get on the throttle up in towards the final few corners of the lap. But I mean, look at the closing speed we've got on Sergio Perez in that Red Bull there. Alex Albon not too far up the road either to the inside of Sergio. Just so I get the car slowed down nice and tidily in towards those final couple of corners, and hopefully I run on Alonso back in towards turn 1 then.
Top 10 now. Keep it up.
Can we try and get inside the DRS range of Oscar Piastri out of La Source there? It's going to be very, very difficult to do so, but I think we might just about manage it, as we're only a second and a half away now from Alex Albon. I mean, this is my favourite track on the F1 calendar, so if ever I expected to be competitive somewhere, it was always going to be at this venue, but right on the outside then of Oscar Piastri I don't think we'll quite get close enough to Albon down the straight to really go for anything, as Oscar actually coming back at me there as we ran out of battery up towards the top of the hill, though. Around the outside of the Australian. Let's see if we can get a run then off of this corner on Alex Albon down in towards Malmedy. Surely we can make the move happen, and we will. But it is very peculiar how they've kind of thrown in some real cutscenes and then kind of made their own ones in the game. I wonder if they're not allowed to show too much of the movie inside this little story mode as well then. But one more chapter to go here, and I believe we're heading out to Yas Marina for the season finale. We'll just wait on official confirmation then, and yes we are, Yas Marina Circuit. It all comes down to this, with Apex GP's future on the line. Sonny Hayes and Joshua Pierce will have to work together and employ every strategy they can muster to have any hope of securing a place in motorsport history.
Hayes exit the pits. He had to come in because of that damage to his tyre. But what of Joshua Pierce? Where do Apex GP go with him?
Guys, I'm unboxing. What's the plan?
Plan C, stay out, stay out.
Chaos.
Copy that.
Joshua slows down the leaders for Sonny. Sonny does the same for him.
Pierce stays out. It's a strategy that Apex have used before this season. It helps them with track position for now, but they've got to keep these tyres alive.
Good clean start, Joshua. Head down now. Let's go.
Right, there we go then. We've got to try and catch up to Charles Leclerc by lap 13. And, well, apparently this is where things get ever so slightly crash-gatey inside the story mode as well then. I've got no idea how far up the road Charles Leclerc is. But I would assume this is only a... Oh, it's a 15-lap race then. So there is Charles Leclerc, 7.5 seconds up the road. Immediately, we are going to try and get a run around the outside of Lance Stroll. So we make our way down the back straight. Oh, careful. Whoa, Stroll! Hello! Lance Stroll there clearly wants to put his name in Hollywood there. They're trying to get down the inside, but we will hang on just ahead of him. Hopefully we can try and get past a few more of these guys nice and quickly. Kevin Magnussen having a brilliant race out so far. Up in P8, just behind Max Verstappen and Oscar Piastri. So I wonder if the Dane hasn't pit yet, and the two in front of him have there, as we can get a run to the inside of K-Mag. Oh, careful not to clean out Max Verstappen as well in towards the next corner, and Kevin Magnussen tries to come back at us in the process then, but yeah, we've got to just try and find a way around these guys as quickly as we possibly can there, as Verstappen a little bit hesitant on the throttle. We'll leave the door open through the final corner. There we go then. So Leclerc now up into second place then of this race is Oscar Piastri. We might both just get the jump on whoever that is. Yuki Tsunoda making his way out of the pit lane. There is Piastri really struggling actually through turn 1, and we'll go past him and we'll be battling with Tsunoda on pit lane exit here. So this might work out beautifully because we'll get the DRS and we'll make the overtake down the inside at the hairpin there. Leclerc now only 5 seconds up the road, so we are closing in thick and fast. Sonny Hayes then doing his best job to hold up George Russell at this stage of the GP for us to allow us to get just a bit closer to the Mercedes man. And can we have a look to the inside? Oh, we thought about it. We're not quite able to go for that one there. Down under the hotel we go. I mean, I'll give credit to Abu Dhabi. It's far from my favourite F1 venue in the world, but it must be pretty good to throw in a movie. It's quite kind of cinematic in that regard there. But down the inside of Russell and that final corner, it's actually Lewis Hamilton leading the way in this Grand Prix. Sonny Hayes, though, is he going to let me by? Is he going to try and fight us for it at these first few corners? I'm hoping he'll actually give me a bit of DRS and we can go for what Verstappen did on Hamilton all those years ago around this circuit. As we see Sonny Hayes, he will actually go defensive. Breaks it a little bit early down into the hairpin. We get a bit caught out over the curbing though, but still should be able to get the power down on the exit. And we are up to P3. 2 seconds to Charlie Boy, so we should get to him quite soon down this next straight. Hamilton has got a mighty lead at the moment here in Yas Marina, but Leclerc, is he struggling on that set of the hard compound tyres? We have got a minor tyre advantage over the Ferrari. Not quite able to get into the DRS this time round. I'm hoping if we can send it through the hairpin, we should get a little bit closer to him as well there, and maybe just kind of get within the range that we need to. So are we going to be able to do so there? Not quite able to just yet against Charles Leclerc. Come on, come on, come on. Haven't got long left of this race. There we go.
George Russell on the attack. Hayes looking to defend through the left hand, and they go. And there's contact. Hayes is spun round into the barrier. That's a big one.
Yeah, no.
There's debris all over the racetrack and substantial damage to the barriers. The stewards have no choice but to red flag this race.
Miracle.
And speaking of damage, Martin, Hayes will only be allowed to continue in this race if he can get his car all the way around the circuit and back to the pit lane.
Sonny, can you get it back?
I'll get it back. I'll get it back if I have to push it back.
Come on, Sonny. Nice and easy.
He's still going. He's still going. JP, red flag. Red flag, come in. We are still alive, hermano. Red flag!
And somehow, Sonny Hayes has got his car back to the pit lane.
It's a miracle. I know. Never seen one until now.
Home free. Good girl. Let's go.
New softs, both cars raise the tire pressure for 3 quick laps.
Team, time to build a car.
Nothing now, Sonny. Push.
Oh, a huge dive bomb coming in then down at the hairpin between our two drivers, but it looks like Sonny Hayes has made it through. It's still going to be wheel to wheel on the exit, actually, by the looks of it, as we've got 4 laps to go then here in Abu Dhabi. So we've got to try and make an impact, and we've got to try and win this race, deny Lewis Hamilton yet another win here in Abu Dhabi. But the soft compound tyre feeling absolutely fantastic on the wagon at the moment, just not quite inside the range of Charles Leclerc that time round into the DRS zone, but again, we are surely going to be able to get a run on him down in towards the hairpin to the inside, a Hollywood-style move. Yeah, from what I've heard, that's the kind of move that would go down in the movie. It is only meant to be a bit of fun. You know, this story mode is just meant to, you know, kind of be a fun little hour of your life. And, you know, I have enjoyed it as well.
2.0 seconds.
I think I've got a good idea now as to what happens inside the movie as well then, but we've just got to try and win the race, so I believe we are doing every lap to the checkered flag, so hopefully we can get around Lewis. You guys know Lewis Hamilton is my favourite driver in Formula 1. I'm not sure how I feel about overtaking him. Just a handful of laps from glory here in Abu Dhabi.
9 seconds.
And let's see if we can try and get a run then on him. Out onto the second of the back straights then, surely I'm going to be able to find a move to the outside, which we will. And up then into P1 here. Let's just get this car to the checkered flag. Well, on to the final lap then of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. What a crazy return this has been for Sonny Hayes. They mentioned that he raced against Senna, Schumacher, and bizarrely Rubens Barrichello. Seemed like an odd third one to pick. So I can only assume he was racing around 1993. He must have started in Formula 1, so kind of puts Fernando Alonso's over 20-year career to shame now, doesn't it? Sonny Hayes returning after 30 years away from the sport. But here tonight in Abu Dhabi, he has proven that he has still got what it takes to hang with the very best of what Formula 1 has to offer. Under the hotel we will go. Apex GP nowhere at the start of the year, to success at the very end, through the final corner. It is going to be P1 in victory here in Abu Dhabi. Well, there we are then. That is going to be the end of the F1 movie inside F125. Like I said, this video has taken about an hour to record, so it really isn't that long a campaign for you guys to jump in. It's always fun just to get a few scenarios, isn't it, inside the Formula 1 games as well. But I think we've gone and unlocked all of Sonny's extra playable things inside the game as well. A massive thank you to everybody who has watched this video. Please, like I said in the intro, if you have enjoyed, get yourself subscribed. And I guess, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Career mode will resume as normal. That one, I think we're back in Austria, our first ever reverse grid race. You guys do not want to miss that.